Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is time to see between these two casters who is really making the effort in the relationship. Because
we're just getting right into it.
We're getting right into it. We're not even gonna hesitate because I need some answers going on here. Kangas, you apparently don't know your co-caster
I was 0 for 5.
at all. Yeah,
0 for 5.
Even lobbed a couple easy questions for you. And you kind of fumbled the bag a little bit, so no, we're gonna...
It's okay. I have faith in one of two things. Either I will also be as enigmatic as Cubby and he will get 0 points, or that he's going to ace it. I think one of those two things is going to happen. I'm not sure which one or which one I'm rooting for.
Enigmatic when you couldn't listen and went 0 for 5. That we're going to have to talk to a counselor about that afterwards. Second off, what I did say earlier was we're going to prove that, you know, in a relationship, there's someone that settles and someone that reaches. And I'm about to prove that I'm the reacher.
All right, well, we're going to start with an easy one, all right? Because we're gonna run back a couple of the same questions to try and make it fair. So the first one, easy peasy, but only between these two teams and these players on these teams. Most underrated player in Kangus's opinion.
All right. Most underrated player between these two teams. Oh, that's kind of tough. All right. I think I got it. And I good luck.
Oh, okay.
Cubby. Good luck to Cubby.
All right, Cubby.
Shochi.
Okay, why do you think Shochi though? Because I gave reasons. I gave time for, you know.
Kanga's not accepting this loss easily.
I feel like, you know, Faisal for me has been one of my underrated players, but we hyped him up earlier. On TSM, maybe you could say Draku, as he had a nice look that game. But I think Shochi's been actually really solid as a mid laner for Fear, and he's not gotten talked about a lot. So that's the base pick.
All right, well,
I don't know if it's Kangas' pick. That would be mine.
You were wrong. I picked Trevor as my underrated pick because I feel like in that game especially, he was like the reason that they won that bot lane, the way he was positioning on the Renata. So maybe a little recency bias. For the last game at least, Trevor was my pick.
I low-key feel like Kangas was stalling to erase the answer and rewrite it, but like I don't. We're gonna be moving on. We're gonna be moving on here. Next.
Glad you're on my side, Sierra.
In Kangas's opinion, who is gonna have the highest career peak? I know there is some players that have made it pretty far, so you can be counting them in a peak they've already had, or you could count any of the players in a peak that they're gonna have in their future. But who's essentially gonna make it the furthest?
From here.
From here.
I don't even know. Give me a sec. Cubby, go stream of consciousness for yourself while I process.
Sierra, how's your day going?
You know, we're chilling. I'm trying to run through this segment because FlyQuest is playing on the other channel, so I'm trying to peep that a little bit. But
the games on the other channel are very nice, I will say.
How's Masu doing? Is he popping off? Because that's my player that I need to grow the Twitter following for.
Unfortunately, I've been sitting here, but Asu's on the Zeri, and currently FlyQuest is doing okay. Oh no, just kidding. Dig has a huge gold lead. All right, we're going back to this one. What was the answer here? What was the answer over here?
Oh right, I have to control my own thing.
Yeah, have you written it down?
I've written it down.
Okay.
Answer.
Ooh, so you think I was going for the easy one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Hanser had the highest peak, and he was the best player on the Rift last game, and he's been smurfing so far this season. So if you don't answer Hanser, I'm gonna want to question your logic a little bit here.
So I interpreted it as we do not factor in anything already achieved.
Same. This is going forward. I still think it's Hanser.
Only going forward.
He's on the Doko route, you know.
I put Perry.
Okay.
I feel like Perry is my choice as the situations that we've seen him put into, always a sub coming in and onto teams that are making deep runs in Proving Ground. Summer 2021, summer 2022, and now he actually gets to be on a team from the start, and they're, you know, a top 2 position in the league, still pushing for even higher potentially. I want to give credit to that, so that was why I went with Perry.
Fair. So far, though, 0 for 2.
Let's go! So Cubby's just as bad as I am!
Yeah. All right, next one. Next player to get a pentakill in a career game, and bonus point if you can guess on which champ.
Oh.
I mean, this is just not a good question. I have to really get into the mind of Kangas on this one. That's a dangerous place to be.
Okay, next time you can run the segment, Cubby, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so do I have to write down both the player and the champion then? All right, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
Can I ask for one hint? Because this is, like, really tough.
It's up to you, Kangas.
Was the champion played in the last game, Kangas?
Yeah.
It was?
All right, what you got? I got it written.
Shochi Tristana.
Let's go! He got one!
Let's go.
All right,
Weight has been lifted.
Loves me more.
A weight's been lifted. I gotta say, I really cannot wait to use this against you in counseling this upcoming week.
Okay, but just to be a little fair, bridge this gap a little bit. Kangas extended that olive branch to help you to, reunite.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I'm not good at setting aside what happened before. I may have some growing to do, but I cannot yet admit that. I must hold it against him first.
All right.
Emily already sides with you in therapy anyway, or counseling. So now it's just gonna be.
Next question, you two. Which player could carry their entire team on their back, even if the rest of the team is just throwing?
I mean, hasn't that just been Hanser like all year?
I mean, I'm just gonna. I'll write it out, but I mean, yeah, I think that this is probably the most obvious answer.
I think that's been Hanser like all year.
It's Hanser. Yep, there we go.
Hey, I tried to progressively make sure there was an easy one in there, so just in case this went the way of last time, you could at least get something right.
This guy probably has been.
Where was my easy one? What?
I literally gave you the easiest one, and you threw. Next to LCS.
I don't remember it.
Next to LCS, they were not even old enough. There was only one answer that it didn't forgiven.
There's a lot of points being made right now.
I love Sierra desks. I want a Sierra desk every week. I'm on this broadcast.
I'm
Emily.
gone the next 2
Side
weeks.
with me again.
I'm so sorry. I'm leaving you after this.
I cannot spoil that, but good for you. I'm excited, but I will miss you dearly.
All right.
I love how you side with me all the time.
I just gotta bully Kangas because Kangas.
Actually, I'm gonna change my answer. I think it was Dragku. I think Dragku carries the hardest.
It was a nice combo, nice alley combo. I respect my alley combos out there. Good play from Dragku.
And also, I think it's gonna be Wild Turtle getting a pentakill on Seraphine. So
a turtle pentakill would not surprise me. But he's gotta not die first in a fight first.
Damn. All right.
They did win the game
now.
still. He got a lot of damage now, but
Throw a couple shots. We're gonna go for a nice wholesome question next. Which player would Kangas pick as his Valentine? Yeah, we have a little more.
Done.
Oh, we have a little more time to waste. We got like a minute and a half.
Which player would I pick as my Valentine?
Yeah.
There was a great picture I had as my Twitter cover photo for a while, which was I was in the middle. Hanser was on one side, Kangas was on another, and they were both flexing, and I was just going like this. So, I feel like Kangas's Valentine, again, would be his gym buddy in Hanser. But maybe there's someone else that's, very wholesome in there that Kangas just wants to hang out with. So I might have to get in the inner mechanisms of Kangas's mind. So I'm going to go with, actually, someone who was a part of the original Swole Bros, which was Golden Glue and Svenskaren, which will be Kangas's Valentine. Kangas, have you written down your answer yet?
I had to do a little bit of digging right there. Give me a sec.
I gave my answer before you wrote yours down. I feel like this isn't very fair.
Here's my answer. I think
there it was. Yeah,
okay. Pretty self-explanatory.
Now, I tried to not answer Hanser for a third time, but yeah, this.
Here, wait. People don't want to see me primarily. Here. Let's send it back. This. There we go. That's the better one.
I mean, he's got you beat on the arm size there, Kangas.
Okay, he's closer to the camera. Look at how much closer he is, though. That doesn't count.
You each look good. I'll give you that.
All right. Final quick question.
That was actually did he actually foreshadow Cassante being a thing?
Bruh. Final quick question before we throw to the draft. Which co-caster would Kangas pick as his Valentine?
Oh, that's obvious.
He doesn't know me at all. It's Deserux. There's a lot of hate in that relationship, but there's a lot of love.
I think it's time we bury the hatchet. Okay, I'll pick you.
I didn't even guess myself. I do have self-esteem issues.
You really do, and that's. You know what? That's something that we can work on together. You know, we'll break through these barriers.
Cubby when he finds out he's in fact Kangus's Valentine. All right, we gotta throw to the draft. We gotta keep going with this.
I'm fine.
Later, guys.
Sorry, Joshi. We both know that was the real answer. But Cubby, happy to have you with me today.
I am too. It's been good to selfishly have you in both the flex seat and the play-by-play seat. It's been fun, but play-by-play seat. It's a long day. We're on game 6. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I got my tea and honey right here in front of me, and we're in the pick and ban. This is the last game of the day, Cubby. So let's empty the tank, as it were.
Ooh. Well, we did say we thought this might be a 1-1. Do we still feel that way?
Well, remember I pivoted to saying that it has to be a stomp both ways. I guess game 1 wasn't really a stomp.
Yeah, that was the closest game we've had so far.
I think that was, and honestly, I do think that Fear can bring it back. I'm going to go back to the point that the draft did not have a big front line for Fear, and then Perry doubling down on the AP build instead of the tank build meant that it was so much harder for them to actually play out fights. They did not have a lot when it came to the 5v5. It was all about the lanes, and they weren't stomping lanes hard enough to win just outright that way. So, yeah, I think that if Fear just kind of fixed that one little issue, that'll give them a much better chance in the second game.
Now, I do see a Tristana ban coming out from Fear. This tells me they actually want to pivot to blue side and use that to first pick potentially a Sejuani. So do want to see if Sej is let through the draft. Maybe that's one of the adaptations they want to make to try and get that side of the matchup.
But will TSM be happy to just take the Maokai at that point? I mean, we've seen a lot of teams actually prioritizing the Sejuani over the Maokai. So, yep, it will be the Sej locked in for Fear. Svenskeren can still pilot it, and then I think they could put Haunter back on something that he has a lot of agency on top lane. Just keep playing through Haunter, because last game he did kind of body Faisal in the 1v1 and then in lane.
Yeah, might as well take the as I've been lovingly calling it on my stream, the Kasana, because when he ults, he pushes you through terrain, you get shoved down the chimney. That's kind of what I've been.
Oh.
Yeah. They need it.
I was thinking Santana, like the guitar player, not Santa. I don't know why.
Not Santa, the very real being at Christmas time.
Yes, kids. Yes. He is real.
Yes. Can't be spoiling too many things on Super Bowl Sunday.
Zaya locked. Oh yeah, I honestly forgot about again. Have you been checking the score at all?
No, I've been good. I have my stats right here in front of me. So it's all League of Legends. Eagles are up, but anyway, we're gonna see who's up in this game, as we do have the potential to go melees plus Sejuani. That Jax, I always love to talk about how Jax rises in value whenever Sejuani's in the game because of the synergy we have with Sej and also against it with that permafrost passive. So it's a little bit of a deny away from TSM, and I'm curious, that Tristana ban, do they want to take the Sylas here? I think Maokai is enough to just draft Sylas if you are Shochi.
Might as well just go for it, but they also were having the Kassadin earlier. This is a lot of scaling. It takes time for the Kassadin to come online. You're giving up a lot of priority mid lane, but the Azir, I think, does a little bit better job of kind of being the best of both worlds, where you can scale comfortably, but also have a little bit more shove.
They're hovering it because they think it's going to be a Kassadin here. That's why. That is one of Dox's answers into the Azir. We will see if Dox wants to go with something else. He does have 3 picks right now, the Kassadin, the Sylas, and the Akali. So I think Dox is okay to eat some bans. We could see some bans go elsewhere, but of course, if you want Kasante, you got to take it now. So it's a choice for TSM, and they're actually going to go with that Kassadin. So now onus is on Fear. They got to play fast this game, or else they're going to get outscaled.
You cannot answer the Kassadin scaling. I don't even think there's a single champion in the game that I would say does better than it, other than maybe like Nasus if you get to 1,000 stacks.
Nah, if we want to get weird, I think Sona's pretty absurd. Same with Taric, but that's like getting weird into very compositional focus.
I don't want to hear the names Sona and Taric in the same sentence ever again. I've been traumatized from Team Liquid 2020 summer, 2019
That's
summer.
true. We don't talk about it. We're going to move on.
Don't talk about that, yeah.
Now, again, I feel like Fear, they're going to be worried a little bit about the counter picks in the bot lane, and they do have a choice here. You can get rid of the Kasante. If you do not get rid of it, we're going to expect that Haunter pulls that out in this game. So I like the fact they take that away from Haunter. Just force him to pick something else. He's been so damn good on that champion. And I will say, looking at Haunter's champ pool, I mean, if he still wants to go with the Fiora, he can. We've been mostly seeing Renekton out of him. I think Renekton would at least help you survive in the top lane. When I see a Cassin in mid, that is pretty valuable. So I think that or any form of wave clear that he can take could be really nice here for the side of TSM.
I would say it puts more pressure on Doxa to be the carry. I think that Poncer on the field would be more agency, but no, they're full committing to saying Poncer will play the Scion, and then they will allow the other players to carry.
Do we see Vayne? Manui likes the Vayne. You're playing into 2 health stackers and a Kassadin. Vayne can somewhat deal with Kassadin. It's not a good lane against Xayah. You will get counterpicked at support, but Manui does love this Vayne pick. He's already been played.
Let's
Not
go.
surprised to see it again. I'm also going to advocate... Okay, Lulu's fine. I was going to start to advocate for Braum. You can't really blind it, though. But I will say now on the side of Draku, something like Blitzcrank could be pretty valuable this game. We're going to get way out there. It doesn't deal too well with the Vayne, but it is an option. Or we can take the sustain. We have seen the Soraka plus Scion be used really well. If you're loading up the Scion, he's just that big ball of stats. You're loading him up with more health. That's really effective. We've seen TSM win with this yesterday. We'll see if they can do it again today.
Also, the silence field pretty good against the Vayne. If she's trying to
really good with
Malachi,
Malachi,
and she dashes in, you silence, layer your CC on top of her. They have double silence actually between the Soraka and the Kassadin, which is very annoying forms of CC. So, yeah, interesting look.
Just an interrupt, not a silence anymore. We just interrupt channels.
You know what? Fair enough.
That was old Cass. God bless old Cass, but we still do see some Kassadin here now. Yeah, at least. So this is the B patch. Kassadin did see some changes. That E is no longer so absurd. So we're going to see Doxa probably put 2 or 3 points in Q before he starts throwing points in the E. So we will see how he wants to play that. But again, all eyes for me on Perry. You're playing Sejuani the Malachi at Kassadin. The map is yours. What can Perry and Shochi do? And can Manui get to the state of the game where you can rip through these tanks?
And will Faisal still get resources top lane knowing that you're into a Scion? Because sometimes
probably
Sion's
not.
Just kind of that neutralizer.
Yeah,
that means that Perry most likely won't be playing to the top half of the map, looking towards the Vayne, looking towards the Azir, both of which, I mean, honestly, I think both of these teams can scale comfortably, but the problem is that you kind of have the infinite scaling of the Scion health, and then also the Kassadin, which is always a problem, so definitely leaning more TSM side as we're into Game 2 of our last series of the day. Ooh, wait, Faisal just blind checks us. Done. Doesn't land, but trading. Oh, doesn't know that Perry's here.
What?
Okay, and Svenskeren scares them away. The danger of trying to hard commit onto us is that Zion still has his passive, so even if you kill him, you're probably going to die back, so I like Fear backing off there.
Love how each of our top laners were just like hiding the fact they had the bros behind them, you know? We're going to use our abilities early. Get you baited in.
Mm-hmm. Gotta...
The bros were on patrol, you know?
We got bros on patrol, we got bros on the range, bros everywhere this Valentine's weekend.
Yeah, hopefully not on Tuesday. That's that's for Kangas, you know.
You got bros on your Valentine's
That's true.
Day.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
That's not a negative day.
It's not a negative day. It still is pretty sweet. It might not be what you're
looking for initially, but it's
still
not
is pretty sweet.
Alternative.
I mean, I would love to see the bros sync up in the top lane in honor of Valentine's Day weekend, as Svenskeren at the moment going to be clearing from top to bottom, so going to support this bot lane, and it actually will be a mirrored clear from the Sejuani. So we could see a little bit of action into the Scion early on, stop that scaling a little bit.
But Manui's got to be careful, because that means Svenskeren pathing bot side. Wild Turtle Dragu get the shove in with their range advantage. They could look to dive, and Manui's already taken some damage early on here.
Yeah, so the Xayah Soraka will have a lot of poke onto the Vayne. Again, the Vayne is not something you are taking for the lane phase, but it is something where you can get to the side of the feathers from Xayah, and if you are able to proc those silver bolts, you do trade okay. But the Raka and the Lulu, it was the support counter. Vayne will struggle in this lane phase. But this is the pick that you're taking to get through that Malachi, get through that Scion, and have some way to deal with the Kassadin later in the game.
And it's just surviving early game as well as you can. You're going to expect to be shoved in quite often. I think Manui's going to have a lot of experience farming under turret this game, as prominent Vayne players generally do have that experience. Kind of the whole MO here. You get the oh, we didn't see if the cannon was claimed. Ooh, Faisal. Raiding aggressively under turret here onto Haunter.
He does have his jungler coming up, so it has been a full clear from Perry. Somewhat matched right now by Svenskeren. I will say if Perry was here on this wave, I feel like Hanser was killable, but not the case. And instead, it will just be the crab for Perry. And quite early game again. I think that for TSM, that Sion Maokai, they need to get the cast into the Xayah to scale. Xayah's going to be really good, you know, jumping in, at least in the favor of Fear. Like, if everyone jumps in the Xayah, of course, you get a lot of value. But I really do favor Fear in this early to mid game, and I want to see what they can get done.
Shochi's positioning so
here we go, getting around the ward.
Perry's up here. Hanser stunned yet again. The shield's broken. He cannot trade damage back onto Faisal.
They're going to wait to see if Hanser approaches the next wave. So this next wave's going to crash, and I think Hanser is doing a decent job sniffing it out right now. He has a ward behind him, so he feels somewhat safe, but now Perry's going to show. That's enough.
Yeah, Hanser will have the flash, and a flash answer from Faisal. They had the cooldowns, they had the timing, and that is first blood picked up by Perry.
And that was really well done by both Faisal and Perry. Again, just knowing that, hey, we hit this play if we hit flash. Faisal able to follow through with that counter-strike, and the Sion, in one of the few parts of the game where you can actually set Sion behind, was able to be successfully set behind by the side of Cincinnati Fear.
And now teleports back into lane. I think actually the wave is slightly pushing into Hanser. Yep, the cannon dies. So Hanser can try and freeze this, and look at where Svenskeren is. Faisal used flash, used teleport. I actually think this is a good angle for Svenskeren to maybe look for something. Oh, he's pathing away. Okay, so let's just get the replay then.
Yeah, so this is right after the trade that Faisal took. So again, Hanser's low, and Hanser's sniffing this out, right? Like, he's not going to take this melee creep. They're just waiting on Perry to get that Q cooldown back. As I'm looking at live real quick, Doxa did lose flash in the mid lane. That is nice. But again, approach that creep. That's when we go. We flash follow. Perry hits the Q. Easy peasy. Well done.
Very clean. Even gets the emote out. Perry, the jungler, styling right now. But Doxa, not level 6, no flash now, so Perry could also look mid lane. Shochi has been hard pressuring this Kassadin ever since level 1, the ranged advantage of the Azir in this matchup. And Perry is maybe able to come mid, potentially here, but also looking towards that dragon because he's got prio in mid and bot lane as of right now.
You can't see Svenskeren actually throwing out some saplings. He did show himself mid as there is a ward over the wall there for Fear, so they know that Maokai is on this bot side. I want to see what Perry does with his info, as he has cleared Raptors, Krugs, and now is running bot. Manui, this wave is shoving away from him, so he's just going to show up here to make sure that Maokai, if he does come, the Fear bot lane is safe.
And again, I think shoving this all the way in, maybe looking to go for a dragon. You know that you have summoner spell advantage from your mid laners, and there's not much a Kassadin can do early anyway. And Skaren has the blast code.
Oh, this could be tricky.
Oh, Perry spots
Oh, they see him.
Okay. Svenskeren doesn't want to commit all the way to the bottom side. Perry trying to clear out this Scuttle Crab while he can. Doxa is now level 6. Jumps in, going for the blast, or the fruit. Jumps in again. The silence. Perry taking a lot of damage, but Trevor flashing in. The shuffle from Shochi. Doxa will trade one back, but Shochi gets another kill to the enemy mid laner. Wild Turtle, meanwhile, slowed down. Manui has a lot of damage to work with here. A scrap for the Scuttle, and it's Fear that win.
I just can't believe how aggressively Doxa played that. I mean, we were ulting to get fruit and ulting to a Soraka. We have no flash on the Kassadin, and Shochi punishes appropriately.
Yeah, it's a long cooldown on your ult for the level 6 Kassadin. It's not something that you can just blink around all the time on. Once you use one, it's down for a decent portion of time.
So this is the combo with the Soraka plus the Maokai, right? You actually get the root, but Trevor flashes forward to save Perry. Shochi, a nice two-man scoop. Perry does get picked up in the back half, but I mean, this is a winning play for Fear. The one positive for TSM is the fact that Wild Turtle is up a lot on Manui. With that the help of that support counter pick and Xayah being able to win out on the lane phase against the Vayne, you don't see it in the itemization, but you do see it on the scoreboard. Wild Turtle has yet to reset, and Vayne's feeling really poor right now with where this matchup's at. So want to see if Turtle and TSM can continue to punish the Vayne, as Vayne, if she gets ahead of the power curve, is really deadly for the comp of TSM in this mid game.
The kill for Manui feels great, though, because as of gold, it's only a 200 differential between Manui and Wild Turtle. So, yeah, there's a lot that's unspent from Wild Turtle, but overall, Manui isn't falling too far behind, despite being down 18 CS. of course, winning that fight there meant a lot for them as Perry invading Svenskeren. Level 6, though. Perry's got backup. Trevor and Shoshi are here.
That was a big camp for Perry because he actually dinged 6 off of it as well. So again, Doxa, no flash, level 7 on the Kassadin. You cannot fight Herald as a Kassadin. And surprisingly enough, Trevor actually roamed up here. So maybe looking to support the Herald play. But while this is going on, that does mean that the Vayne's going to lose quite a bit in the bot side, just catching those waves as Faisal
forces out the ultimate from Haunter.
Yeah, that's Herald.
There. But that is multiple plates bot side. I'm happy that you flagged that. This should be a 3rd plate off of this next wave.
Again, that's really big for the side of TSM. You're keeping the Vayne down. Because Vayne, I really think that Vayne is kind of a mid-game pick now. It's about when you get the Rage Boy. That's really where her big spike is. So if you can delay that Rage Boy, that's when she starts to become the problem, shredding the tanks. And Manui set very far behind in gold. Going to be something that Fear has to worry about now.
Curious what the gold graph's going to look like, because it was a 200 differential before, but now Wild Turtle has got 2 more waves. Parries over the Dragon Wall. Svenskeren's kind of low, but he's got a Soraka behind him. And there you have it. Svenskeren secures the Dragon. Perry now wants to get out of here.
He's got no flash.
Is in there too. Trevor's not level 6. He can now Wild Growth, and Arctic Assault is a long cooldown at this point in the game, so Perry jumps into his death.
Well done by Svenskeren, just body blocking Perry. Make sure he couldn't go. And again, bot priority, it's in favor of TSM. So the bot lane couldn't support from Fear. They're actually matching the recall right now. And Turtle, because of all those plates, look at the itemization. He's pretty far ahead of the Vayne. So all things for TSM, early game, the fact that the game's even, that is a big advantage for them. Again, we talked that, this is a game where Fear, they really want to hit the early to mid game hard before this Kassadin gets going. The fact that Vayne's behind, it's a champ that struggles to push and struggles to take the terrain away from Doxa. It will be good in the fights, but you can see some of the benefit of the draft and how TSM's playing it so far. I think they're in good shape.
And worst case scenario, as TSM challengers, if the game starts to get away from you, you can give up 3 dragons in a row, because you took that first one. So the Dragon Soul, not going to be super fast. They're not at that point, though, where they are actually pushing for their own, as Faisal, 1v1 Haunter, pops the ultimate, and trading a little bit of damage back. Okay, let's not get overeager here, but really wants to chunk out Haunter because Perry is nearby.
Yep. And I do really like how Faisal is playing out this matchup. Just knowing that he has this jungler coming up here again. This is something I really praise Faisal for. I feel like he can play both strong side and weak side matchups well. He struggled in game 1 on the Fiora, but you know that his Jax is good, and he's been doing a nice job so far in this one.
Telegraphed.
It is.
And Svenskeren's coming up here. They execute. They actually get him. One more hit. Oh, Haunter's out. The wish from Drag who keep him alive. And Doxa teleporting in. Has flash. Can ult flash forward onto Faisal. There it is. Dodging out onto stun. Not quite enough to get the kill.
All right, both summoner spells burn from Doxa. Honestly, that's not all bad because Azir is going to answer with plates. So the fact that it didn't work out for TSM is a little bit expensive. I do like the Scion TP here, but you're going to have to switch lanes eventually. And that's okay from Fear. There was a lot burned from TSM to deter that play. Haunter lives, but you don't find anything on the back half. And that's A-okay for Fear. Again, this is a game where they have to push the pace of the game in this mid-game. So those tools being missing, they can now answer somewhere where TSM cannot.
Joshi gets out just in time.
We're good.
And now, Manui also getting some more farm on the bot side. Getting close to that first item. Should have it by the time the next dragon fight comes around. That's where you'll actually start to be able to do some damage to things like Haunter, like Svenskeren, who currently just has the Demonic Embrace. I'm wondering if he's going to go for the AP build also. I wouldn't hate it as much if he did, because you also have Haunter as the frontliner, so you have another tank to make space.
Speaking of creating space, Fear trying to put this Herald down on the map, but oh, this is a nice haul from Svenskeren. Faisal's in trouble.
This is big. Faisal's going to be chained, CC'd, and locked down to his death. Jumps back in, gets a stun. Oh! Woo! The true damage from Jax. Showing up big there, taking down Svenskeren.
The Divine Sunder heal working overtime there, as he was at least able to trade out one. That's big, because again, Azir was able to free hit the mid turret. So Fear, and this back and forth in the early game, I mean, this is the part where we feel like their draft is stronger. And they're at least trying to answer back here against TSM.
And I like this from Manui here. It just says, I'm going to give up the bot lane. I'm backing, resetting, going immediately top lane as Faisal lane swaps. Barry tries to catch some of this wave, so big for Hanser to actually push that in. But Fear, they're trying to play towards their win conditions, getting Faisal earlier back onto the map here. Maybe he can push up bot.
All right, curiously enough, it's actually a Kraken Slayer for Manui, so really focusing on the tank-busting power of the Vayne. I'm still expecting... Honestly, that longsword tells me it may not be a Rage Blade second. Maybe we go Bork or PD. PD on Vayne is very, very strong. So it could be the option. But curious. Gonna have to keep our eyes on that. What Manui decides to do.
Would have flagged something that I learned there from the gold graph, thanks to the observers for highlighting. Shochi is further ahead in gold over Doxa than Wild Turtle is over Manui. So overall, Fear's carries are still feeling pretty good, despite the fact that the gold is dead even right now.
Kind of a weird state on the map right now, because Dragon's spawning, but each of our bot lanes are working towards the top. And I don't favor this for Fear. I think that Fear... They still want to try and stack up these dragons against TSM. I mean, that Cassidon late game will be a problem. So I think the fact the bot lane's top right now, it is into Cassidon, which is good because you can take resources away from him. But this should give the second dragon over to TSM for free, and that is, again, concerning here for Fear.
The fact that TSM, again, even if they don't continue stacking the dragons and Fear eventually contest them, TSM have a lot of time that they bought for themselves to allow this Cassidon to scale into the late game, despite the fact that Cassidon is behind as of right now. It's just an inevitability. When that level 16 hits, that 2-3 item point comes in. They're already stacking up the tier. Wonder how much gold he has unspent to get towards that Seraphs eventually. Should be up by the time the next big fight around the dragon would come out. Okay, maybe not actually. He's only got 676, so... Won't have it for the next dragon fight, potentially.
It's a work in progress.
Action that happens.
Yeah, a little work in progress, right?
And who knows? Maybe, you know, Fear will just kind of int into him, and he'll get a bunch of kills that way. That's always a fun way to get to Seraphs.
Not bad. As at the moment, Sejuani.
Oh, Perry. Having some fun with it here. Throwing out the Glacial Prison onto Svenskeren. He's got some teammates behind him, so feeling emboldened. But that is ultimate down.
And it did get the flash out of Draku, but you're right, that's a big ult down. TSM's looking to fight. It's a great angle from Svenskeren. This is not spotted. This could be dangerous. Hanser's here.
Okay.
His ult
Fear want to fight
now.
Downward or fight
Just got
upward?
It.
Okay, Herald's down, but can TSM punish them for that? Wild Turtle's doing a lot of damage. Manui has to flash away. Wild Turtle's still there, still going forward on the parry. No kills yet. But Faisal has to flash too. That is a lot of summoner spells used defensively from Fear just to get the Herald.
I really want to praise Hanser for how he played that fight, holding that choke so that Faisal couldn't engage and actually create a winning fight for Fear. I think that's really good tank play from Sion, and now Shochi, given the numbers advantage, and as you said, the health bars went in favor of TSM. Fear had to reset. TSM's going to use that to cash in on maybe a bit outer.
Woo! Yeah, Svenskeren, one of the saplings, started hitting Shochi. So he was tanking turret underneath, and even with Leandri's burn, Dragu Wish plus the heal will keep him alive.
Calculated, you know?
Yeah.
Not even close. We don't talk about it anymore. We're done.
It's pretty close, but
it was pretty close.
Yeah. Come on, Trevor, you had Flash Ignite. Just go for it. Kill him. Punish Svenskeren there. You would have got nothing on the map for it, but it would have been funny.
Decent part about that set of plays still for Fear is that Manui has closed the gap. I do think it's really important that Manui gets online here rather soon. Because as this game goes on, things do get tough for Fear. Another unique part about the Vayne, she is pretty decent in the long lanes. Of course, that passive allows you to chase people down, not to mention all the tumbles. But with no one showing for TSM, Manui's a little bit concerned. And again, Doxa, you aren't taking away the space for Cassidon in the farm. If he's allowed to do this, he's going to become a problem. Already level 11, working towards that level 16. I'm sure Twitch chat's doing a good job of keeping track for us.
11, 12. Level 12 right now. We'll
yeah, but you gotta get the memes going, right? The 12 out of 16, like Monka W. right?
Oh, is that how it goes? I
yes, with emotes. So at the time, yeah. There's Twitch chat always they love the casting and spam.
Incredible. I mean, it really is like the most direct countdown that you can have in League of Legends. I think that and Kale.
Hold on.
Kale's kind of similar. Doxa is all alone right now, shoving in the wave, trying to get the turret, and gets out to safety. So Manui will save the turret, but good on Doxa to realize I'm in danger. I'm going to back away. Shoji looking at Svenskeren, who dodges out on the Emperor's Divide. Teleport's coming in now.
TSM.
They lock him down. Wild Turtle with a big feather recall, and Doxa now with a shutdown kill on Shoji. Doesn't need level 16 to do this. Kassadin can still do a little bit of damage regardless. That's a double kill to Doxa.
Scaling at TSM seems to be online. I love how they're playing this. Like, Faisal was the one who was given the resources early. Every fight TSM's taken, Faisal has not been there.
Oh, and
no.
the teleport's canceled. Doxa can just get in on the Manui. A double kill to Wild Turtle, and this game just got blown wide open.
TSM slowing down these games. It's been so good for them this week, Kangas, as they're looking to move to 3-1. I think it's been a very different TSM. It's a team where we've seen them play towards Hanser, right? Play towards the Cassante. But in this series, we've seen a bit of both. Hanser, big carry in game 1, but now game 2 on the Scion. We see how much time, attention he can draw, and how much he opens up the rest of the map for his team. As Dox and Wild Turtle have taken great advantage of that in this one.
Ambitious from Shochi to go in like that, walks back into the Soraka silence, and then is locked down. Oh, that was rough. Dragku, I talked about it in Pick Ban. Soraka silence is sneaky. There's a lot of, particle effects on the ground right there, and a silence was one of them. So you gotta be mindful of that.
Yeah, and I mean, Perry wasn't able to find the Sejuani combo where you pop the Permafrost into the ult and then pop that. It was split between two members, so a split engage here from Fear, and they're on the back half, as you stated, Kangas, because again, look at that Kassadin. And also we have a Navori completed on the side of Wild Turtle, as it looks like Manui is actually, it did say to keep tabs on that second item. Looks like he's going to work towards that Blade of the Ruin King, so that's where he's going to get his sustain and more percent health damage.
Monster's Q stopped there, and Shochi with a shuffle knocks him back. Good body block from Trevor. Flash out from Hanser.
They're rotating
here. Wait a minute.
They're rotating.
Wait a minute.
They're
did
rotating.
Hanser just bait Fear in?
I think he did.
Was incredible. The rest of the team has joined in, and now Fear realized, wait, this is not the fight that we signed up for. They have an Azir turret to play with. How much more can they do? Teleport. There's no more help coming. Dragku's keeping everybody alive.
Manui could clean. Manui could wipe.
Okay, Manui coming up now. The flanking Vayne, who's spotting Manui. Oh, Svenskeren knew exactly where he was. Flash engages on him, and Shochi just doesn't have the damage to take down Wild Turtle. Another double kill to the Xayah. Trevor running away. Perry trying to back in the brush, will make it back. Okay, Trevor kind of juked Hanser and Dragku right there. He's gonna have to, I guess, die under the turret. No, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, TSM are just going Baron.
You know what one of the values of Scion is as well, Kangas?
I would love to hear.
We can 5-pick support, baby. Because Soraka went off in that fight. And Draku, he kept Hanser and everyone else alive. Oh, the support counter pick. Oh, that was so absurd from Draku. And the side of TSM is, again, they're cruising to a victory in this one. And I know that TSM, it's been a little bit of a weaker schedule for them this week, facing two provisional teams in both AoE and Fear. But TSM have really risen to the challenge. And if they win this, they're looking at a 3-1 week. Their first 2-0 since week 1, and their first week in the positive as well. As this team, they have everyone together. Joshi was talking yesterday about how they don't have as many resources as some of our other challengers teams playing remote. But TSM, we know the experience and the talent that these players have, and it's great to see them really rise to that level and see some good play out of Draku as well, one of the players that they're really trying to develop in this roster.
Draku finally made it into the U.S. The visa was accepted. And did not look like the team was driving well with Dragku in the first couple of games. But now I think things finally starting to come together. They're pivoting away from all these like Ashe, Caitlyn, Varus for the support role style of compositions and playing something a little different. And it has been working for them. I think Doxa, on the signature cast and definitely helping them out here. Fear are not out yet fully, but they are struggling. I mean, like... Doxa is going to be hitting level 16 relatively soon.
We have Soraka, Kassadin scaling, and we're sieging 23 minutes in. I feel like it's pretty tough here for Fear.
Oh, but look at Faisal. He got a tier 2 turret.
He did. That's cool.
Yeah, he's got.
I don't know what he can do in these fights.
Look at him go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's spinning the win and just watching Kassadin shoving those lanes. I mean, the other real hard part here for Fear is the fact that we have a soul on the table for TSM, and it is not just any soul, it is Mountain Soul. So giving Soraka Mountain Soul, that's pretty sweet. Oh, we get another look. All right, let's look at how nasty Soraka is.
And the problem with this engage just barely there is that Shochi goes so deep with the shuffle, he's not able to hit Hanser with anything afterwards. But then the real issue is just Dragu. Yeah,
this is part of the power again, because when you heal up the Scion or these big tanks, you're giving a big stat ball that much health, right? So the health's more valuable on someone like the Scion, given what Hanser's built, and you can see just all the time they burn. I mean, they're fighting under someone's turret in a 4v5, and Draku's just keeping everyone topped off, man. Talk about the Valentine's Day special from Draku. He's helping out all of his teammates, man, taking them all out as they get to wrap around behind Fear, keeping everyone alive. That's what you want, man. That's the ultimate teammate right there.
And very solid calling in that fight as well.
Yeah.
Whoever tagged Manui saying, hey, Manui's flanking around, and then Svenskeren saying, nope, I'm just going to flash, get on him. No Vayne shenanigans. And now Fear are in a really rough spot now. They had control of second place going into the weekend. They had the opportunity to stay up there with Wildcard, but a loss here would mean that Wildcard, the other provisional team, shocking a lot of us, will take their spot. It could come down to this fight here. Teleport now coming in from two members. Just
Double
actually
16.
from Faisal. TSM, they're grouped up. They have the front to back that they're looking for. Here, are they actually just going to take this? I mean, it's Dragon Soul, so I suppose they have to go for some kind of fight now.
And they're eating all the poke, too, from this Radiant Virtue Maokai. Doxa's on the side. He can keep that ult charged up as he's full mana. They're burning it down. Here we go.
Trevor didn't drop a ward down over the wall either, so that means nobody sees Doxa yet. It's going to be up to the mid lane of the cast, and he's just waiting for his opportunity to go in, and now he's onto the back line. Wild Turtle with insane damage. Shochi tries to get a big shuffle there. Just can't quite do it. Manui gets one. Oh, actually goes down immediately. TSM.
It's a wipe.
A 0 for 5 wipe. Beautifully played in the team fight setup at the Dragon, and that could just be game. They have a big wave top. They don't even want the Dragon Soul. They say, let's end this game. Might be a little early of a call, though. 20 seconds for Manui, Trevor, and Perry. So I guess they're just going to take the inhibs.
Either way, like the play from TSM, and credit to Turtle and Draku. I know it's their second week playing together. This is a bot lane where, you gave Draku counterpick. Xayah, into Vayne, you have the poke, you have the range. You have to make sure that Vayne does not win that lane, and they did just that. As this game from TSM, again, a really good sign for them, showing multiple strategies in the series, playing games out really cleanly. This is what we were really hoping for out of this TSM Challengers roster. Didn't see it early in the split, but now they've gotten everyone here, some more practice under their belts. Seeing a really clean series from them today.
I love the play around this setup here. Manui tries to go in, but Doxa threatening on the back, and Manui just getting almost one shot there.
Yeah, that's the power of the Xayah here from Turtle. Turtle plays this out with the Soraka rather well. He's just able to step up, and my lord, Turtle. Some big work there, as again, Fear. No one can get through this Soraka. Not enough damage in the tank for Fear. Manui getting one shot before the fight even starts doesn't help either. And TSM, really, they can't. Next Baron should be game.
And I like the play at the end. I thought that they were going to go for the end, but they just get the double inhibitor, double back, and then get the Dragon Soul. They get everything on the map. So with Supers pushing in everywhere, plus this giant shield. The Bloodthirster shield plus the Mountain Soul's shield means that Wild Turtle's just never going to die. It's just a matter of minutes here. How quickly can TSM close this out?
One Baron, and we're gonna go sub 31-minute victory.
I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna say sub 30-minute victory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I favor you.
You're giving Fear a little bit extra gas in the tank, though.
Yeah, I am favoring you right now, as I just checked the inventory and saw that Doxa has a hat. And that concerns me.
That's pretty crazy. And a stopwatch.
And an elixir.
Yeah, this game's done.
Yep.
It was a good run from Fear. Again, they have been towards the top of the standings, but we were very hesitant to say that they were a top team because of the strength of schedule. And now that they've gone up against Dignitas, even TSM struggling, showing that, yes, they are still an exciting team to watch, but, you know, there is weakness in this roster, too.
I really like the Soraka pick from TSM. I think Soraka Scion is just impossible for the comp of Fear to deal with. As Faisal doing his best to deal with the Scion right now as they trade ults. Fun times. But TSM, again, this is something they can really use to build momentum off of. Them and IMT were the lowest ranked challengers teams we had in the standings, and a 3-1 from TSM against two provisional teams this week. Something they can really build momentum off of for the rest of the split.
Feels good to end on a win. Feels good to go into the next week with a positive record from the previous one. Does a lot for the spirits of a team that, again, talking about some of the situations they've been put in, not having a whole lot of support behind them. It's mostly just the players coming together, trying their best week in and week out. And performances like this, it shows how hard that they are working as well. As the final push under the Nexus turret comes through. Baron-empowered minions everywhere, so Fear's last stand, and
Turtle.
Wild Turtle is shredding them. Faisal trying to get onto the back line, not quite gonna do it. Hanser winning the matchup, taking down his late opponent, and TSM Challenger will end their week 4 in a pretty comfortable spot with a 3-1 record, coming back up the standings.
Really good to see from TSM, and I gotta say, Hanser continues to impress, but seeing TSM diversify their portfolio strategies. The Soraka Scion is pretty nasty. They're 2-0 with that, by the way. But also just showing they can win without playing through Hanser. I think that's a really big sign for TSM moving forward, showing they are improving as a team. And then for Fear, I mean, there was a reason that we ran the opponent's strength of schedule, right? There was a reason we talked about the opponents that Fear has yet to face. Not surprised got 0-2 by Dig. The 0-2 today against TSM. They have the opportunity to face some really tough opponents in the second half of the season. I want to see if they're able to step up to some of those, because it feels like that was just missing today.
Overall, I do say this series lived up to the hype. No matter who picked up the win, I think it was going to be a fun story. We got the TSM Challenger comeback story now, where they just took down a team in the top 3 in the standings currently, and now is showing that they are kind of getting a little bit of a surge from this weekend. We'll see how long they can ride that momentum, but we'll actually get a chance to chat with some of the players from the team to hear how they're feeling after this break for our post-series interview. So we'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our post-series interview with the one, the only TSM Challengers, Hanser, coming in after a 2-0 victory. First off, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, man.
Did you just flex already? Was that just like an intro flex?
Bro. No, I'm just stretching.
Okay. All right. I understand. I wasn't prepared for that one. Let's get into the game. Let's get into the series, because you got the pilot now kind of turning into your signature Scion in a way. This seems to be your tank of choice when the team isn't going to be playing through you in lane. But you're showing a lot of flexibility, so I want to start with that. When did y'all decide that Scion was the pick that's going to work for your style of gameplay?
Well, I just played it in solo queue, and I was like, this champ feels pretty strong. So tried it in scrims, had some pretty good results, and we had some like good results in stage as well. So just, might as well just keep picking it. I feel like this champ's kind of like hidden OP, like it's pretty strong.
Now, that does require other, members around the team to step up and provide a lot of that DPS then in the fights, whereas kind of in the earlier weeks, it felt like it was oftentimes you playing strong side. So talk to me about the kind of transition for the team to say, nope, we're going to put Hanser on a tank, play more weak side, enable carries elsewhere in the map. Kind of, how did that all come to be?
Well, it's kind of the meta right now. I think playing around bot is very important, and it's something that we didn't have much practice with, because we had to like switch supports, all this kind of stuff. So I think once we got more comfortable playing around bottom, it's like what we're trying to do more. But I definitely also we want to play like multiple styles, like not just playing like Sion every game. So you're going to be seeing like a lot more like varying play styles from us as a team. But we'll try to do our best every week.
I'm happy that you brought up the support swaps, because y'all have had like 3 different supports already in this split, but Dragku is here now. What was it like finally getting him on the team, and kind of how did the team take steps to welcome him in and get him comfortable?
Well, we had like a little boot camp in Korea before the season, so we met him there, and he's a really funny guy. He's really stupid, but he gets the job done. So we're trying to deal with him as well as we can.
Okay, I can't just let you get. What do you mean stupid? Like, does he just say stupid things?
I mean, in every sense of the word. It just embodies his character. But
okay.
I love him. I love him a lot. He's a good friend, good teammate. Yeah.
What's the stupidest thing that he said on comms so far this year, whether in like a scrim or in game?
I cannot say that on air. That's how stupid he is. I can't say it on air, so.
No, good catch.
Yeah.
Good catch.
He said some really sus stuff, but.
Well, I want to open up a conversation now, because the community has been talking a little bit ever since, yesterday we were talking on broadcast, some stuff we were hearing about TSM, the kind of management structure for the Challenger team, not having a head coach. I'm curious from a player perspective how that's impacted you individually and how the team has come together to try and kind of fill that void, because I imagine that means you have to kind of pivot some of your style of how you approach the game as players.
Somewhat. I mean, since we don't have a coach, that means all the players have to do the drafting. Yep. And that has been somewhat of a challenge, because like no one has ever really done it before. And the way we do drafting is basically just like we all come together, just talk about what picks we want to ban, like what do we want to pick, what we think is like high prio, and we just like sort it out within ourselves. I think it's honestly not that much different with a coach. Like, yeah, a little bit less work, but it's working out like decently well for us. We haven't gotten like super draft gapped yet. So
who was the one that found the Soraka Sion combo then? Do you take credit for that one, since you were the Sion scouter?
Dude, we didn't even come up with that. It just happened. Like, I picked Sion, and then Drake was like, I think Soraka's good here, and then we just picked it,
This is kind of disgusting.
Turns out it's a really OP combo.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think y'all are kind of finding your own meta right now.
Yeah.
What about you as an individual player? Do you find that like it's harder for you? Because let's be honest, CSM, you kind of had a slower start to the season. Now you're picking it up here. Do you feel like not having a head coach impacted you at all for your individual performance?
Not as much. Like, I mean, like the veterans for sure have to step up and kind of lead the reviews, lead the drafts, prep, all that stuff. But it's not like it's so much work that it's going to affect our gameplay.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm happy to hear, because that is definitely a unique situation y'all are in, and we're trying to, make sure that y'all are still getting the respect you deserve for the effort that you're putting in so far in the split. So congratulations on the win, Hanser. And we can't end an interview between you and I if we don't do a little bit of a flex off. But I've lost too many times, so I'm going to stipulate here. We're doing a wrist flex off. Do you know how to do a wrist flex?
No, how does that work?
I don't think you can see me right now. But okay, take your wrist and then kind of just like pop it down. Yeah, kind of like that, but have it go angled inwards.
Like,
inwards. Turn it around. Yeah, there you go. And now you show that off. All right, let's see who's winning this flex off, chat. Let's see who's winning this one.
Dude, I'm not gonna win against the guy that does.
They're blowing us up. They're making us big screen. This is perfect.
Oh shit, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Muscle.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I should have done some push-ups before this. Like, I need the veins popping.
No, I just gotta run you through some of my arm wrestling training. I think that'll probably help you out the most. But thanks so much for coming on, Hanser. Congratulations on the victory, and best of luck going into prep for your next matches.
Thanks.
And now we'll bring back on Sierra and Cubby to close out the day. There we go. Finally, I was able to beat Hanser in a flex off in something. It's the only thing I can beat him at.
How do you do that?
So you bring in your wrists like this. The goal. My left one's looking better than my right one right now. You're trying to, yeah. There you go. Boom.
Am I doing this right? Like,
yeah. Well, Kind of. So you actually have a little, I don't know, I'm not going to call it gamer wrist, but most people don't actually have that good of flexibility on their wrists. So the goal is to get it to 90 degrees right here. And if you can't do that, you probably want to do some wrist stretches.
All right. I'll work on that for next broadcast.
I'm in a different state right now, guys. This is I love NACL. I love my job, but also kind of a big national holiday going on today.
You changed your shirt.
I did.
Wait, what is?
Gotta move the mic aside.
You care to share with the class some of the missing letters there that your microphone's covering up?
Here we got. It stands for "Man, I Love Football."
Yes.
The Super Bowl is going on.
Yes.
And I gotta say, I hate both the teams that are playing in the Super Bowl, but Hurts should have won MVP. So go Birds. I will admit.
Well, we'll wrap this up quickly so we can get you off to the game real quick. We do have to be pulling up the standings to see how our little league's going on over here.
Ooh.
On the other stream as well. I mean, Dignitas top spot, and
they're pulling ahead.
On the other stream as well. I mean, they're running away with the games. I was tuning in. It was typical Dignitas fashion. That's second place though. I mean, everything else is hotly contested. This is fun.
Wait, is this fully upgraded? How come Cloud9 are at an odd number of games?
There might be games still going on. Who knows what happened on the other stream today? Is it what actually was a 1-1 between GGs? So I do know. But I will say matchups tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to Evil Geniuses versus Wildcard, and also Golden Guardians versus CLG. As I think that EG they had a nice 2-0 yesterday. I felt like Ryoma played great, and I'm really excited to see if they can wrap up that week on a positive note against a tough opponent. And then GG versus CLG. I think Golden Guardians have been on a bit of a tear. They just took a game off C9 today. Excited to see that one in review and see if they can continue that momentum or if CLG can somewhat bounce back. I know that they had a pretty good 2-0 today, I believe, against TL. So we'll see.
Good stuff. I'm liking what we're seeing from some of these teams. As we're halfway through the split at this point. Super exciting stuff. Of course, make sure to be tuning back in tomorrow and make sure to catch the last set of games for this week. Angus, Cubby, it has been a lot of fun. Thanks for making the show great. You too, as well. Thanks, production and Emily. I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks, but I'll be tuning in. I'll be watching. I'll be cheering you guys on.
Oh, well, safe travels and have fun at your big mystery event, Sierra.
Yeah, wishing you the best here. And also, can we keep filling for like 5-10 more minutes so Cubby is delayed to go watch the game? I think it's funny because he's kind of
wrapping this up right now. Thanks, everyone, tuning in. Go catch the game. See you next time.